Hello, everyone. Thank you for those who have joined and for those who will be watching this on replay. I hope that you are having a great week. Happy Hump Day. Let's get into this. So, today I want to come to you and just talk about ways to scale back and see that less is more. I have been talking to quite a few people. It seems to be a common thing that I've been hearing lately around my nurses and entrepreneurs and other healthcare professionals that they are feeling really overwhelmed and stressed, got a lot going on at work and at home at the same time while still trying to add a lot of new things into their life. Plus, I've been through it as well, so I just wanted to jump in and just share some things that I have done within my own life to scale back, and it has definitely brought more peace in my life. So, all right, just a little disclaimer. For some of you, this might be a little challenging, might be a sacrifice, because a lot of times we equate busyness with feeling important. We confuse business sometimes with being productive, or we're not being lazy because we're just being busy all the time, or having a whole lot of stuff is like feeling of accomplishment. And sometimes, yeah, you can celebrate by buying things, but sometimes having too many things actually end up overwhelming you even more, and it can actually take away from your peace. And we'll talk about that a little later when I get to decluttering. So I am here to help you value that peace above all this clutter that we have accumulated within our lives. So the first thing, for those of you who have been following me for a while, know that I like to deal with the mindset. So I'm going to always start here with changing your way of thinking. Because for some of you, when it comes to organization and things like that, it might not come naturally to you. So you kind of have to expand your mindset to embrace the new things and then do this little by little. So first off, with changing your thinking, I want to touch on the part of that with the mental clutter. Sometimes this mental clutter is worse than anything else because we spend so much time focused on everything that we have to do that we actually don't do any of it. And that mental clutter will now turn into I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you're a failure, you're lazy, you're just wasting time, and it just goes on and on again. And that overthinking about things will actually end up paralyzing you, and you can't get up and do anything. So that's why I want to start here with decluttering the mind first. And then one of the best ways to do it, and it definitely helps me out a lot, is to write it all down. So I journal, and I just use a spiral notebook. I don't get these big fancy journals, but if that's your speed, do what you need to do. But I just get a spiral notebook and I just write down everything that's going on in my mind and write down my to-do list. That way I can see it, and it helps me gain better perspective over the things that I have going on, and it lets me know sometimes it's not that bad. You don't have that much to do. So that would be the first step of decluttering the mind, is to get it all out. Take what's up here and put it all on paper. And from there, then we can start with prioritizing and planning the days. Because everything that you have on your to-do list don't have to be done today. It don't even have to be done in this season for some of these things. So you want to differentiate to what needs to be done, to some things that you just want to do and try out. Push that to sometime later. But plan your days and block out that time for the activities that you have to do that are most important to you. Okay, so you want to start there first. And also in the prioritizing part of it with your to-do list, especially, see what you can delegate and push off to someone else too. Do you have to do all of it on your own? Question to ask yourself when you're doing this. But also within planning your day and blocking out that time to do what you need to do, also put in time to rest and take breaks throughout your day. This is another great way to declutter your mind. It gives you your mind that opportunity to rest. So definitely don't forget to schedule that time of break. And when I say break, I mean we're not thinking about the to-do list. We're not thinking about work. We're not thinking about family. The mind is literally resting. I know that can be scary for some of you all, but you can start off slow, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and work your way up throughout there. But it's definitely something to do to just give your mind that break that it needs. And for me, what works best when planning my day is, as I've told y'all before, I use my Google Calendar because I always have my phone. If I leave home without it, I'm going to turn around and come back and get it. So I always have it, so I don't have any excuses. And I'm so conditioned to it now, to when I hear my calendar notification, I'm like instantly like, what am I forgetting to do? So that's how ingrained it is in me now. And I don't have a whole lot of other notifications on my phone outside of texting and a phone call. That way I can prioritize that notification and don't clutter up everything on my phone with hearing Facebook and all that other stuff, all those other notifications. I took those off. So that is something that you can do when we're planning our days. It helps us create routines that support these constructive habits to help us, cut unnecessary things out. And I'll talk more about this in a second. But the ultimate goal here is to be productive and not be so busy that we're not getting anything accomplished. So please take it out your mind, put it on paper, schedule it out, prioritize it, put it in your phone and schedule it, and then set goals, short or long term, most likely both, so that you can have something to measure and make sure that you are achieving what it is that you set out to achieve. And it'll give you that time frame to let you know, like, okay, we can move on to something else. Okay, so you definitely want to do those things. Okay, the next thing that you want to do, and this is going to have a couple of different layers to it, but limit your activities. So when you have a lot going on and you're feeling overwhelmed, the last thing you want to do is say yes to another committee, or if you're involved at your church, say yes to another volunteer activity or ministry. You need to limit that and say no or not now, and be okay with that. Okay, every month, every season is not a time to add on something new. So definitely pay attention to those moments and limit that activity. If you have children, maybe they just need to do one after school activity. Do they need to do everything and all this stuff? Is there someone else who could take your child to that particular activity? Look at different things like that to kind of cut down on the things that you have going on, especially like on the weekends. You don't want every weekend to be filled up with a ton of stuff. You want to have time to rest and relax and just be. Okay, so try limiting the things that you're saying yes to. And another part of this that I just had to throw in, because I was just talking to someone the other day about nurses and us being some of the biggest hustlers there are. With limited activity, you might have to limit how much you're working. We will pick up shifts like it ain't nobody business. We will get other contracts, other PRN jobs. Honey, we gonna work. We gonna get that bag, okay? And sometimes working more and doing all that is actually not helping. So with limited activity, you might need to limit how much you are working. And with that comes the subcategory under that is look at your finances. What can be limited and scaled back within your finances so you won't have to always work extra? Do you need all of those subscriptions on the TV? And that can help cut down on screen time as well and help you be more productive. So you might need to cut back on some of those. Cook at home a little bit more. Do we need to eat out all the time? So look at your finances and really scale back on that. Limit the spending. Build up your emergency fund. Have at least 3 to 6 months of of income saved up for things that might happen. We never know what's going to happen. I know for me, I had to do all these things as well. And it's tough, but it's worth it. And you want to decrease your debt. So with cutting back on work, look at them finances and see what you can cut back on too. And for those of you who are, this kind of popped up in my mind, but for those of you who are actually working jobs and you're unhappy with it and you're kind of seeing the writing on the wall that, okay, it might be time to leave because this job is really taking from my peace. I was in a job like that not too long ago. You definitely want to look into different ways to cut back on your finances so you can prepare to leave and go somewhere else. I know when I was in that situation, I had to make the tough decision to sell my home. That had to be taken out of the budget. And I moved in with my family. And while doing that, I built up the emergency fund, built up the 6 months. I actually had over 6 months of income saved up. And I decreased my debts down to just student loans at that time. So it was tough. It was a hard decision, especially because I am very independent. It was very hard for me to do, but boy, the peace that I gained from that decision and the freedom that I had with, I was able to go part-time. I was able to go part-time because of all those decisions that I made. And peace, I'm telling you, there is nothing compared to that. And it really lightened my load. And I was able to enjoy actually being at this place that I was getting ready to leave. I was able to enjoy it for a time being and enjoy doing other things as well. So those might be some other things to think of. And for those of you who are kind of like in my position, no kids and not married, you might need to get a roommate. So look into doing those other things to help out financially so you can limit how much you're working and thereby limit other activities so that you can gain some peaceful activities that you can do. And then I just had to add this one in here because, like I said, I've been talking to a lot of people that's been really overwhelmed and they are in a season where life is lifing. And I know that season very, very well, where things are just happening out of the blue and is really taken away from you. It's really putting its toll on you. And when you're in this season, and I just want to encourage you, let you know that those seasons will not last always. It will get better, okay? But when you're in that season where life is lifing, you might need to scale everything all the way back down to just the basics, the bare minimums. And that's what I was talking about earlier with creating the routines to support constructive habits. So get out of bed at the same time every day. You want to still stay in that daily routine of getting up at the same time every day, and you want to pray, meditate, journal, practice mindfulness or gratitude, whichever one of those things that you choose to do. And why is this important with these daily habits and things like that? Because when you're in a season where life is lifing, if you have these core, just basic things on lock, it will give you a sense of control when you're in a season where everything else is out of control. Okay? And that time frame that you're operating in these basics and doing these routine things, that can definitely help you bring some peace in the midst of this storm. Okay? So like I said, get up at the same time every day, pray, meditate, practice gratitude, journal, plan out your schedule. And this becomes even more important when life is lifing, to plan out your schedule because you do not know what's going to happen the next day. Even in the midst of the day, you don't know what can occur. So when you have that schedule already planned out, when something out the blue comes, you can handle that with the peace of knowing that you already know where you can go back and look at your schedule and you can pick back up with those same things that you already had planned out. So you're not losing control over everything, okay? So very important to continue to schedule your day and plan that out. Have that list that prioritize to-do list with you. Eating healthy is another basic thing that you want to do. So you want to do simple, quick, easy to prep meals that you can do during the day when life is lifing. Because what you don't want to get caught up during this time, which is so easy to do, is just going to fast food restaurants, eating away your sorrows, just doing just enough because you know you got to eat. But when you eat like that during this season of turmoil and just stuff going out of control, you actually end up feeling worse. Okay? And you feel sluggish. So you want to stay in control as much as possible by looking at simple, healthy meals, healthy snacks that's just quick, that you can grab your kids, something quick, healthy that they can grab as well during this time. And then exercising. You might have gotten into a great exercise regimen. You might be at a gym. You might be in boot camps with other people. But when life is lifing, you might have to cut that out your budget for a time. But we don't want to stop working out. So you want to still work out, and it might just be at home, free YouTube videos. And they got plenty of 10, 15-minute videos that you can do that I have done and still do. And y'all see the weight loss that I am getting, okay? You might want to just do those in the meantime and just stick to that. And doing these core basic things during that season when life is lifing, celebrate it. It can definitely help you still remain at peace as much as possible and stay in control of something during this time. And just remember, it's only for a moment. It doesn't always have to be. Once the season is over and once it passes, which it will pass, then you can go back to doing a lot of other things within your normal routine. But during those hard times, stick to the basics. Don't do extra trying to be Wonder Woman and all that stuff like that. Just stick to the basics and be okay with that. And the last thing I want to leave you all with is declutter your home. Why are we going to work in these crazy environments, or you might have a lot of craziness going on within your business, just to come home to an organization and clutter and all that stuff like that? Your home should be your main place of peace. So you definitely want to declutter your home. So this might not come easy to everyone. I know for me, I will downsize in a heartbeat. I have no problem getting rid of stuff. I downsize every time I move. Even if I downsize to get into that place, I will downsize again. So I can't do clutter. It makes me feel a certain type of way. So for those of you it doesn't come natural to, you have to schedule that in. That's a part of your scheduling your day. You have to schedule that in, whether it be, during the week or on the weekends, what have you. You want to schedule it and break it up. Do not think you're going to come up in here and declutter your whole house in one day. Break it up. So you might schedule, for instance, a couple hours on a Saturday to organize one half of your closet, because some of y'all got a lot of clothes and shoes. So just one half of your closet. And be okay with that. Like, creating these little tasks to help declutter your home over a course of time helps build up momentum. It creates those small wins that you can celebrate, and you can see the results right away. So that's going to motivate you to continue on. So you don't want to take this big overwhelming task and try to knock it out in one day. Break it up into smaller tasks over a course of time. And if you struggle with getting rid of stuff, like you have a little bit of hoarding in your spirit, you might also have to create some criteria for you to follow, so that you can know what to keep, what to give away, and what to trash. If you find something that you have not worn in months, and you might have to just give that away. That might be a part of your criteria. If I see it, don't know where it came from, ain't used it in months, that's your telltale sign to get rid of it. So have that criteria set for yourself, so you're not keeping this clutter, but actually getting rid of it and then organizing the stuff that you're keeping. And in doing that, like I said, if it doesn't come natural to you, you might need to get someone to come in and help you out. Get your spouse, have a friend come over, turn on some music, make it fun. Those are some other things that can help you with decluttering your home. So I know, like I said before, if this is all new to you, it can be challenging, but just give yourself the grace to open up your mind, to expand, to want to take some of these tasks on and implement them little by little. Don't do it all in one day, especially if it's new to you. Don't do it all in one day. Do it little by little so you can gain that momentum. You will find that eliminating a lot of these unnecessary activities and chores and distractions is going to free you up to make more room in your life to do the things that really matter to you. I can't say it enough. I definitely have more time to be with my family and to watch my nieces and nephew grow. So I don't take any of this for granted. So when I tell you all these things, I have lived it and still living it. So I definitely want to encourage you to implement it in your lives as well. And value your time and focus on the quality. The quality, not the quantity, okay? Please do that. Please do that. So I hope that this has been helpful for you and they have resonated you in some type of way so that you can start making these changes within your own life. And if it just doesn't come natural to you and you still find yourself needing help, I am here. I have a 4-month coaching program where I literally help my clients do these things. Okay? I hold them accountable. I encourage them. I celebrate with them. I pray with them. I definitely pray with them, honey. I pray for them. And I help them come up with their goals, see what's holding them back. And I give them that space, that freedom so that they can see and evaluate, what's going right, what's going wrong, how can they change and things like that. And I'm there with them every step of the way. And you have access to me even when we don't have a meeting scheduled, okay? And we meet over a course of 4 months, and we meet for an hour every other week. So if this is something that you need, definitely you can DM me or you can type program in the comments and I will reach out to you and we can schedule a free 30-minute discovery call to see how we can be a best fit and I can help you out in your life. All right? So thank you for joining me during this midweek session, and I hope you found value in it. Enjoy the rest of your week. I look forward to hearing how you have done some things and made some adjustments in your life to cut back and scale back, and how you have reclaimed your sanity and your peace. All right, you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye.